Today on UV Design Tips and Tricks, I show you my favorite 4 SEO tools, and they're absolutely free. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. My name is Carl, co-owner of UV Design, and today on Tips and Tricks, we're going to talk about SEO. There are many tools to help with SEO. There's a lot of free ones, there's a lot of paid ones. It's kind of hard to know what works for you or what might work for you. So today we're going to talk about what I use on a daily basis as part of some of the SEO strategy that I use to help clients in my own websites rank higher. And they're absolutely free. So let's get started. All right, so the first tool we're going to use today is a tool called Screaming Frog. It is a great tool. It's a piece of software that you're going to download and install. And what it does is scrape websites and tells you basic data about your website. Actually, it's more than basic, right? It'll tell you your H1 tags, your H2 tags, meta descriptions, all the pages that can be indexed currently, and a lot more useful information. It's a great tool that I don't think a lot of people utilize. It's just a really fast way to analyze a site really quickly and understand kind of what's going on with it. They have 2 versions. Let's see here. I believe features maybe. Actually, don't go on the website too much. Here we go. So they have a free version and a paid version. The free version is pretty awesome. You can do a side-by-side, find broken links, analyze pages and titles, metadata, meta robots, discover duplicate pages, generate a sitemap for you. The free version you can only do 500 URLs, which is quite a bit. So if you are just a small SEO firm or just a local business owner trying to figure out how to increase your SEO or what's going on with your website, this is obviously more than plenty. And then they have extra features. You can integrate Google Analytics, Search Console, link metrics, rendering JavaScript, custom robot texts you can create, all for the paid version. It's only £149, which I believe in US, that's roughly $200 per year, which still is not that bad at all. I use this daily to scrape people's websites. I check my own websites consistently. I check competitors' websites all the time. So I already have installed. I do have the paid version on here, which is perfectly fine because what we're going to use is my UV Design website. And we're going to go ahead and scrape that real quick. And then all you do is put in your URL right here and hit start. And then what it's going to do is it's going to start scraping your website. You can see, everything's filling in. It's starting to just analyze everything, kind of gives you a rundown of how everything's looking. And then here's a cool little chart. It kind of tells you the percentage of, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, images, PDF, Flash, and other. Sometimes there are a little bit of things on here that I'm wondering why are they on here like Flash. Like, I guess if you see a red on there, you should, get that off of your website. Yeah. So anyways, down here, they tell you how many pages you have, how many pages it's scraped so far. This number usually keeps climbing for quite a while. If you have a very large site, I only have 231. Now these aren't 231 pages. These are 231 scrapable things that it found on here. So as you can see here, there's a summary report of everything that's going on. SEO elements, there's 71 HTML. Basically pages are, scrapable items, JavaScript, CSS, images, 62 images, external protocols, response codes, how many success pages, 185, how many redirections, 7, client errors, 404, server errors, none, URI, so it kind of tells you, character wise, page titles. I have 42 page titles. So I have a page title on everything. I'm missing 0. I have duplicate of 0 over 65 characters. I have 2 below 38. Meta descriptions. I'm missing 1 meta description. I have 6 duplicate meta descriptions. Keywords. This again really isn't relevant because Google doesn't really look at the keywords anymore. That's old school SEO. H1 tags. I have 40 or there's 42 scrapable ones. I'm missing around 13 duplicates, H2 images. So, it gives a lot of great data just right here. Right here in this main section here are all the items that it's scraped. So basically, a lot of things in here that aren't just pages. For instance, plugins, it scraped like the CSS plugins, the JavaScript. Let's see here, that's a page, more CSS scripts and stuff like that. So you're going to see that, and there's going to be a lot of missing information on those parts, which is perfectly fine because Google isn't actually scraping those to show you. So what you can do here is on this side, let's say meta description, I want to see what my missing one is. All you do is click the missing one and it will tell you exactly what the missing address is. I'm actually not really sure why this is showing up, but that looks like it has something to do with CDN email protection. So you can click on this, and down here they're going to give you a more description of the link that you clicked up here. So this can sometimes help you determine what is going on more with it. And you can just kind of read up about it, crawl depth, links, outlinks, external outlinks, hashes, and stuff like that. Duplicate, you can again click on duplicate and it'll show you which ones are duplicate. And with WordPress, this is pretty common. So basically how you fix this is basically index the author pages and these blog searchable pages, because they're just going to keep coming up, because these are basically the first page, the second page of my admins and stuff like that. These are all the pages I've posted. So it's going to come up with the same description. You can't really go in and change the description of those that I'm aware of. So it's just easier if you index it so they don't get indexed. What else here? Let's just do all. And then, like I said, you can click on individual links to get more information. Title 1, length, meta description, how many words, pixel width, or this is description length, pixel width, H1 tag, H2, H2s, more H2 tags. So what this is nice is for, because you should only have one H1 tag on your site, and then that should also be the main keyword for that page. Now, some people think, oh, the name of your business should be the H1 tag, which I have it at, but are people really, searching for UV design, or are they searching for like website designer, or they're searching for plumber in Cleveland? So there can be discussions about, do you make maybe this the H1 tag and make this an H2 tag? But you got to remember, size doesn't matter, right? So this can still be the size of text, but H1, this could be H2. So that, again, that's just kind of things you have to play around with and decide if that works for your website. But this at least tells you all that information. Then in here, up here in all these tabs, you have all the different tabs which are pretty similar to these over here. This just kind of gives you an easier legible way of reading everything. Meta descriptions, so here's all the meta descriptions that we're missing. If you click on all here, then I can see all the meta descriptions. But if I want to see the missing ones, that's what I'm going to see. Meta keywords, again, that doesn't matter. H1 tags, so you can see all my H1 tags, and I can visually see which ones I'm missing. You can click on this to sort it. So, oh, here's all the ones with it. Here's all the ones, and here's all the ones without. So you can easily make decisions of, yes, these should have H1 tags, or maybe these won't because categories, author pages, so you can easily see, well, these usually don't have H1 tags. I don't have that capability of doing it. That's fine. But then your pages, you can see if you're, what they are. If you're missing one, you have duplicates. Which this, for instance, this one has a duplicate H1 tag. So I probably want to go and change that. Just scrape through it real quick. The biggest thing also I kind of like about this is the sitemaps. You can create an XML sitemap and an images sitemap. So you have two different sitemaps that you can submit to Google, Bing, and stuff like that. I recommend it because this is only going to show images. This one's only going to show XML sitemap. So you would just save those, download them, and great stuff like that. So I definitely check it out. Everything I went over right now with this is in the free version. Again, the paid version, you're going to have a little bit more control, a little bit more data provided. You can do more websites and stuff like that. But just for being free, this is an awesome tool just to run through your website real quick. And within 15-20 minutes, you're going to know a lot more about your website and how your website's seen to search engines. So the second one, it might be a little obvious, but I'm definitely going to say Search Console by Google Search Console. Webmaster Tools, as the formula was known, is a great free tool. Just Google Webmaster Tools, Google, and you'll be able to set up your account. We're not going to go through setting one up. We're just going to kind of go over the features. Here's the one for my UV design. I click on there, and right away I get current status. It tells me how many links it cannot find and any other information. So you can go to crawl errors. You can see, right now it cannot find these 6 pages. I'm pretty sure those were all my old version of the site. So I just need to, in the htaccess file, do a redirect, a 301 redirect, because 404 means it's not found. Well, this page will never be found. So I need to point it somewhere else on my website, because you do not want these. Google does not like it when you have 404s and things not found. So you need to do some sort of redirection on there, and eventually it will crawl and fix itself again. Let's see here. Then we have search analytics. This one's a little, I wouldn't go by the book on this, but it kind of gives you a little bit insight of what people could be searching for and how they're clicking to your website through Google. It's, I would be very hesitant about it to go just rely on this one information for that. We're going to show you something else here in a minute. That'll be better. Sitemaps. This is where I was telling you, this is where you would submit 2 sitemaps. You can see I have an images one. I have then my sitemap, which would be like for pages and how that's indexed. And then you can see here that images index 75 or submitted 75, index 36, web pages 57 and 57. So that's kind of cool that it tells you that information. If there's any warnings, you get warnings here. You can click on those. Structured data. This is kind of cool to kind of help with those SERPs. Structured data is when you Google stuff and you see like little cards or a little more information about websites. This is what Google's seeing. So I have my breadcrumb list, my type of organization. I'm a professional service. I have a course on my one of my pages. I deem it as a course. A blog postings, all my blog postings, and then an article and stuff like that. So it indexes it, tells it what it is, and kind of gives Google a better understanding of what exactly is on your website. This one right here, the microformats.org, some WordPress themes do not push this out correctly, so you'd have to go back in and write some code to fix it if your theme does not display this one correctly, which is fine. It's just take a little, you just Google it, how to fix microformats for WordPress, and it'll just be some code on there. I'm showing you this just to see that you do get errors, but it's very easy to display those errors and see what specifically those errors are for. Let's see here. That's the major stuff on here. I mean, you can kind of click around and see other things, robots tester, it'll tell you what your robots.txt file looks like. But the majority of this is great for is knowing what crawl errors you have, especially if you relaunched a website or built a new website. You want to make sure all your pages are redirected if none are showing up, and then the sitemaps. So this is good for SEO, making sure that there's no errors on the back end of your website. The third tool that I would recommend to help with SEO is to kind of figure out what type of long tail keywords to use, and that would be answer the public. Answer the public is a pretty awesome, crazy website, right? You got this crazy guy, he's getting frustrated with you because you're not hurrying up, but it's pretty cool. Basically, you just put in your keywords. So let's just say wedding photographer and hit enter. And then what it's going to do is it's going to take this keyword and come up with a lot of basically questions that are asked on Google that have this keyword in here. Now, I will say right before we go into it, it is kind of confusing sometimes at first, but after a while you kind of start figuring it out. And it's not the easiest to always read, but you know, here are the questions and here's the variations of those questions with the keyword in there. What wedding photographer should wear, what wedding photographer, what wedding photography, what the wedding photographer didn't expect to see. So what's great about this is if you're trying to think of content, right, because you need to use long tail keywords. Google loves those when you're maybe writing blog posts and stuff like that. Is you have your main keyword, which is wedding photographer, and then you want to see what other people are searching for, because this might also give you ideas of what to write about, right? You know, or where to find a wedding photographer. You know, all right, well, I know a lot about that, so I'm going to write a blog post about that because that's a question that seems to be commonly asked about a wedding photographer. Or who is the best wedding photographer? So these answers, this just shows you different questions that are used with that terminology or with that keyword built into it. So you can definitely take a look on here. And then they have the prepositions. This is kind of, again, a variation of what you saw up here, just a different format of, you know, same keyword, but just different ways of how people are searching for it. So comparisons, again, the same thing. You know, wedding photographer and videographer, Cheshire, wedding photographer and photo booth. So these just a different way of a different type of Google search that people are doing. And then alphabeticals. So kind of see some big search results on here for that. Again, this is kind of weird at first because you're not going to have a keyword that has as much, what's the right word I'm looking for, population as wedding photographer, but just, you know, think of different variations of your keywords or what people might search for. Kind of keep it short. I think that's usually the best for this tool. But again, it's a great way to think of ideas or different ways to, you know, write about the same keywords. So you're not just keyword stuffing, right? You're answering questions that people are possibly searching for. And that's what's great about this, right? Because usually you want to write content for what people are searching for. So this is a great tool to find out what those questions are. And then you'll be able to write good content, write good content about those questions and help visitors out. The last tool is from Google again, and this is going to be Google AdWords. Google AdWords is pretty fantastic. That's not the right one. Google AdWords offers a lot besides just displaying ads, which this is one of my clients. This is an apartment complex. There's actually 2 tools built in here. So, right, so we're actually like, this is 5 tips technically because there's 2 different great tools on here for SEO. The first one is a keyword planner. So you have to set up a Google AdWords account. Just Google AdWords, go through the easy steps to setting up an account. It will probably make you create an ad, but if you just pause the ad right away, you don't have to actually run the ad. But you want to click here on this little wrench, go to keyword planner. And what this does is help you plan content or find relevant keywords based on one keyword, right? So let's just do wedding photographer again. Get started. And so what this does is this shows you basically variations of your keyword, right? Shows you different ways that are very similar to your keyword. So again, this is great for, you know, having LSI keywords. LSI keywords are basically synonyms of your main keyword, so you can write more content, right? So you're not keyword stuffing, because Google likes it when you talk about things that are similar to your keyword, but not directly. So this will give you those similar keywords, but then it'll also show you the average monthly searches, which is great, right? So what you can do here is you can sort this list, and then they're saying photography, there's 165,000 searches in the United States, because you can, for this keyword, photography, photograph, then wedding planner. And so you can see how much search people are doing for that, right? So if this is really low, it probably won't cost a lot, or it probably won't be hard to rank for it, but then again, no one's searching for it, right? So you kind of have to make that decision about, is it worth my time to write about it? People are searching for it, you know, newborn photography, right? So that, you know, this is a key one. All these are key for local, because most photography is local, right? You do that within a 60 to 150 mile radius. So then you can search by target area. So let's just do Des Moines, Ames, Iowa. It's reached 2 million people. So we want to target that area. Oops, I targeted the wrong one. I took off the wrong one. All right, let's click this again. So now we're just doing this section of Iowa, which is basically central Iowa. Click here. And then what it now does is change these results based on that particular area, average monthly searches. Oops. And so they're saying roughly 480 searches are done in a month for wedding, for photography, for photograph, wedding planner, wedding photography, engagement photos, and stuff like that. So that's saying that it's not a high volume, but then again, we're in a lot smaller area, 2 million people instead of, you know, the whole United States. But then this also shows your competition for these keywords. So it shows you how much people are either paying AdWords for, or how much people are ranking their pages towards, and roughly how much it would cost you to bid against that for that click. So these are just averages, but it's a good idea to kind of know what you're getting into for it. But that's besides the point. The point of this keyword planner is to find out keywords that are similar to yours, and to see what you could possibly write your content about, and find variations of the keyword that you're looking for. The second tool inside Google AdWords, which is great, is this is the bonus tip for you guys, is you do have to be running ads to make this work. If you don't, so I guess this is kind of like you are paying for it, I guess, but it doesn't matter, because if you're using the keyword planner and if you're going to use AdWords, this is one I think a lot of people miss up on and don't use, is the searches. Basically what this does is it shows you this area right here. It shows you what people actually Googled for one of your ads to display. Now, I don't have places for rent in Manchester, Iowa as a full keyword, right? We're doing apartments. It actually tells you what keyword was searched for and what this is the phrase that they decided to show up on. So this ad has been shown 13 times. I've had 3 clicks on it, right? And then Hawkeye Drive, Dubuque, Iowa, 1 impression, 2 clicks. That means some user went back and clicked on it again. So they can show you all these different high keywords. So if you're having issues, you know, like, man, I've never organically ranking for stuff, but what are people searching for my ads? You can use these to kind of, again, help tailor your long tail keywords on your website too, right? So, all right, a lot of people in Manchester are looking for places to rent, but I know I don't talk about Manchester at all on my website, so it's only being shown for this. Maybe I should start writing content based on Manchester, Iowa, and places to rent in that area, right? Or, you know, long-term rentals in Galena, Illinois, 2-bed, 2 bathrooms, 2-bedroom, 2 baths in Dubuque. So again, this just kind of helps you understand what people are searching for your ads display, but then it can also help you rewrite some of your SEO content and stuff. Like I said, you have to be using Google AdWords for this to show up, but we know we'll call this 4.5 the 5th tip of this tutorial. So those are 4/5 of my favorite SEO tools to help you out. They're really great. I use them on a daily basis to help me and my clients out, you know, so we start rank higher, start figuring out, you know, keyword strategies, you know, content strategies, and get them on the right path so their pages are being shown higher than all their competition. So that's it, guys. You know, if you like this video, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we're releasing new videos for you. And until next time, take it easy.